So I'm sure we all remember what happened at the Capitol on January 6th. A mob of Donald Trump supporters attacked the U.S. Capitol and attempted an insurrection to overturn the election results, which were in Joe Biden's favor, clinging to President Trump's false claims of voter fraud. 5 were killed and several others were injured, and much damage was caused. As a result, calls for a new domestic terrorism law have grown. Obviously, what happened here was tragic. However, it cannot be an excuse to do yet another Patriot Act. What the Patriot Act was, in case you are unfamiliar, which at this point, how could you be? It was passed in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks, and it dramatically expanded the government's power to spy on Americans warrantlessly. As we learned from Edward Snowden's leaks in 2013, the administrations of George W. Bush and Barack Obama were using Section 215 of the Patriot Act to spy on Americans and collect their phone records en masse. By the way, Edward Snowden is an American hero, and he should be pardoned. And that's not the only area where the Patriot Act increased government surveillance, warrantless government surveillance, that is. It also expanded their ability to warrantlessly search private property. In the end, the bulk phone collecting was ruled unconstitutional by the courts, vindicating Snowden. Not only that, it's not like, oh, well, sure, the human rights and civil liberties aspect of it might have been controversial, but at the very least, it did stop terrorist attacks, right? Right? So, knowing how ineffective the Patriot Act was, not only did it completely throw your civil liberties out the window, it also was not even effective at stopping terrorist attacks. We cannot repeat history's mistakes and do another Patriot Act as a result of this. As directors for the Counter-Extremism Project point out, there are already existing statutes to prosecute domestic terrorists to the fullest extent of the law and to stop them, proving that not only would another Patriot Act be a violation of American civil liberties, but it would also be completely unnecessary. And also, not only making sure that the people such as insurrectionists are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, while also protecting the rights of peaceful protesters, is a difficult balance to strike, as Texas Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee points out. And this domestic terrorism bill could potentially infringe on the rights of peaceful protesters. Furthermore, Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib led a group of House lawmakers, mostly progressives, to oppose a second Patriot Act, acknowledging that there has been little to no success with the initial Patriot Act. Some quotes from the letter that I want to point out as being extremely accurate include, "While many may find comfort in increased national security powers in the wake of this attack, we must emphasize that we have been here before and we have seen where that road leads. Our history is littered with examples of initiatives sold as being necessary to fight extremism that quickly devolve into tools for the mass violation of the human and civil rights of the American people. To expand the government's national security powers once again at the expense of the human and civil rights of the American people would only serve to further undermine our democracy, not protect it. For our part, we pledge to oppose any attempts to expand the domestic national security or surveillance powers of the United States government at the expense of the rights of our people with every tool available to us as a duly elected members of Congress." So, as we can clearly see here, there are existing laws in place to curb counterterrorism without infringing on American civil liberties. Instead of using them, however, we could just repeat history's mistakes and do yet another bill that just completely strips Americans' rights. And we cannot let that happen, but thankfully, with people in Congress speaking out and people being aware of the dangers of the Patriot Act, what it did, maybe there's a little bit of hope. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then leave a like and subscribe for more. Check out my last video over here in case you haven't seen it already. And big thanks to Logan Stueck. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, buddy. I think I am. I hope so, at least. For the request, you can check out his channel down below. If you like rock and metal, he's a guy. He does some pretty cool videos on rock and metal music. But yeah, if you have any other ideas for video essays you want me to do, leave them in the comments down below, and take care, everybody. I'll see you next time.